Hello, this is Magda Shares. I wanted to, first of all, thank you so much for your clicks and your comments. I appreciate them so much. Every one of them. I was listening to one of the YouTubers whom I appreciate a lot, and he he made a very clever argument about one thing. Well, not only one, but this one was, wow. This one was, apart from the fact that as his narrative goes, that we, as he thinks, and this is my opinion as well, that there is something shady going on in the group of prosecutions in the Brian Kohlberger's case, and they changed the story. They exclude some materials from the documents, and really important ones like the time of death of the victims, and to the moment when I start to believe that there was no DoorDash order. I mean, there may have been something like a bag put in front of the house, but just to make an alibi that in that moment maybe everybody in the house was alive and waiting for getting the food. The problem with that is that, according to him, the restaurant who provided that food was closed at that hour. That is 4 a.m. It was closed. So who delivered the food? I believe there was no DoorDash order. I believe that someone who killed those poor students decided to somehow decided to somehow put us on the wrong tracks. The police said that the girls who survived went home by Uber, and as later was said, there was no Uber ordered that night. So they changed the narrative, saying that it was by private car. My God, this is police. This is not a chit-chat between two girlfriends who just discuss what had happened. This is a very important and formal document document. And what this document may do is to put a squad with rifles against Brian Kohlberger. So I believe they should move their ass and do their job, but I suppose it's too late because they have no interest in doing so. What was with the numbers? When they did the research on the DNA, they said that it was absolutely Brian Kohlberger because the numbers said that it was impossible that it was somebody else because it was 5.70 something octillion. And I checked. What is octillion? You know what? Octillion is something that actually does not exist. It's not a true number. We don't use octillion in everyday life. It's like names of numbers start from million, then there's billion, trillion, and something, even trillion, is rarely used. Even trillion is rarely used. And such big numbers have mainly scientific purpose. Numbers from million to trillion have real reference in human experience because people earn that much money and are considered and are considered also in scientific purposes, for scientific purposes. High numbers are tenuous and, first of all, and this is very important word, artificial. Higher numbers are artificial. And their existence their existence is mainly based on their definitions. I mean, they do not exist beyond their definitions because they are not used in everyday life. Large numbers have an intellectual fascination and are of mathematical interest. Yes, true. Giving them names is trying to conceptualize them, but nothing more. Many scientists have agreed that this obsession to pursue big numbers is art for art's sake. Like the belief that any number needs to have a name. Example, Google. No one knows how many zeros. I mean, someone of course knows, but I don't know how many zeros Google has. And who cares? Because this is not actually used in everyday life. I don't know if it's used in research, because it wouldn't be taken into consideration in court, because it does not any practical reference to our life. So this octillion with 10 zeros, 10 zeros. How many people are here on Earth? Billion. So how come that they came up with a figure that does not exist? It exists in the minds of mathematicians who are obsessed with numbers. They create them, they give them names, but those numbers are uncountable. And without any reference to our life. So the fact that his DNA must have been his because they counted that the other person who would have the same DNA is 5.75 octillion, when we have 8 billion people on Earth. They counted all the people in the history. That would be that. No. This is a fantastic figure. It does not exist. And that's the proof that they're taking us for fools. They could as well use the word Google. Number. It would be the same. Why not? The same purpose, the same idea, and the same outcome. Nothing comes out of it. It means that we are being manipulated by the prosecution and law enforcement. And they dare, by those weak pieces of information and pieces of evidence, and the weak mathematical skills, they dare put Ryan Kohlberger on death row, put death penalty on the table, and be ready to put him against the death squad, and shot him. Maybe they should just go back to university. Or maybe just not. Maybe not. It would be a waste of time and money. Because they would understand a thing. I am furious I am furious because many people think Brian Kohlberger is guilty because there was his DNA. And I say no. Not unless he's proven guilty. And not unless you explain to me what this octillion is that they are talking about. Which does not make sense. Because there are no such numbers in real life. It's a fantasy used by mathematicians in their universities. Do you want another bullshit? Do you want to be fed another bullshit by this squad of undereducated and over I wouldn't say overworked because no, I wouldn't say overworked. I'd say over aspirators. Individuals who still think that they are law enforcement, FBI agents, and so on and so forth, that they can do whatever they please. Okay, wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening to me, although I've been quite emotional. But when it comes to somebody's life, we have already lost 4 lives, and we are about to lose another one because of those fools, uneducated fools who are playing on us. So, let's wrap it up for today. Thank you so much for listening. See you next time. Magda shares.